Anyway, I'm just having a good time talking to you guys. I am dizzy. I still need a few minutes to let everything kind of calm down and try to get my bearings, let my head straighten up a little bit. My legs are shaking everywhere. It's that deep down. And I've had a lot of people ask me questions about my squat program. I honestly am just not fully ready to share what I'm doing because I don't think it's at a point to where I could hand it to you and you could just do it. I don't think it's at that point. I've had lots of programs in the past that I've put out free online that were something that was a book that I could just hand it to you guys, and you could just start at week 1, day 1, go through week 12 and be fine. Make tons of progress. I'm just not for sure if it's exactly where I want it to be yet. And the thing is that it's a 12-week block, and I've done it with bands, I've done it with chains, and now I'm with straight weight. But now with straight weight, I'm realizing this is where I'm adapting and adopting. I'm understanding, what I need to do more. I need to look at this, look at my program, and then understand, hey, not all of this works well for me. So I need to take the part, I need to understand what works for me. I need to make sure that that's in the program. I mean, what if you know what works for you, and you look at the program and it's not even in the program? Then the program's definitely not for you. So you either throw the program away or you find a way to put what works for you, plug it into there. So I know that what works for me is in the program. I just think it's in the wrong spot, or I'm going this way when I need to be going this way. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm getting all of my super high rep, actually the super high volume stuff into a huge block, because I think the 10s and 8s and the high volume 5s build the best for me, especially over long term. And if I can set progress on those, and I've got to come up with a few phases of that, then not only am I going to make progress, but I'll be able to hand out a program that's basically plug and play with variations that people can look at and say, dude, this program is great. I know what works for me, or I sort of know what works for me, and I can look at these 3 options here and figure out which one is the closest to that, plug and play, make it work, and then it can be repeated over and over for years for repetitive progress. If a program does not offer repetitive progress, then it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Your body's adapting to short-term stimulus if it's only a short-term peaking program. But strength doesn't come in short-term bursts, especially when you're 43. And if I would have looked at that when I was 23, at age 23, if I would have just looked at my squat, bench press, deadlift, and overhead press as a 5-year plan, and then repeated another 5-year plan and another 5-year plan, just repeated it, man, I could really be doing some serious numbers right now. But I didn't. I continued to run the short-term plans. If you go back to the time period of my life where I had my biggest squats and biggest deadlifts, when I box squatted, straps down, no knee wraps, here in this rack, 957, and I deadlifted 800 pounds almost every week for 3 years, something like that. I played the long game for at least 3 years leading up to that, maybe 4 years leading up to that, setting my training max at 660 on box squats and continuing to get the reps. I did, get the reps with bands, get the reps with chains, get the reps with a dynamic effort cycle, repeat based on that. And then instead of, saying, okay, I really know I can squat 730. Well, don't, only increase your training max from 660 to say 680, 685, and then repeat all of that. Run the program straight weight, bands, chains, and then dynamic effort, and then increase only another 10 to 15 pounds, and repeat that process. It's the safest, best, most effective way to get where you want to go long term. That's the way I've got to think. That's the way I want to think. I'm 43, and I keep thinking in the back of my mind where I want to be in 2 months. But then, I see somebody on the internet that's 70, even just 53. I'm thinking, man, I've got 10 more years of grinding before I'm where they are. And not wait, but there's so much that can go wrong. So I can either plan it out right and be lifting better at 53 than I am at 43, or I can plan it out wrong and not be lifting at all at 53, or be lifting just the barbell on a plate aside at 53. I think I want to plan it out right. I want to plan it out right, guys. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to call my wife and tell her to track my phone on the way home, because I feel pretty dizzy. Make sure I don't drive off somewhere and get lost. I may have to turn the Google Maps on just to get to my own house. Or I may just sit here for a while. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut the camera. I'm going to sit here. We will see you guys hopefully tomorrow night for Stones. Have a good one, guys. Ooh, I want to stand up. I really want to stand up on my own and step back. But he's not want to let me. Legs, legs, legs.